TikTok is controlled by the deep state now. Newsom is launching a probe into it to investigate whether or not it is being biased against Democrats, you know, whether it's engaging in political bias, which could potentially violate the law. I doubt anything is going to come of it. Again, please keep in mind that the Democrats, and also Newsom specifically, were A-OK with this. They're the ones who set this in motion. They're the ones who decided that because TikTok wasn't pro-Israel enough, the United States government needed to have more of a say in who runs it, you know? Time and time again, there is a synchronicity here between Israel henpecking and beleaguering and demanding it be given more control and the right taking more control, you know? It's just interesting. The Democrats don't admit that they want to cede more surveillance or authoritarian power to the right, but they do want to do it to Israel, and then Israel immediately hands it over to the right. It's not just Israel that's being reductive. With the TikTok one, not really. With the TikTok one, it's pretty straightforward. During the initial acquisition process, known rhino Mitt Romney was like, yeah, they're being too anti-Israel over there. We need to control what they can see and what they can say. And then when the acquisition process is done, it's handed over to Larry Ellison, Israeli super soldier, the pedophile 9000 over there, the goddamn oligarch who controls like half of our media, donated tens of millions of dollars to various Israeli funds and projects. Greater Israel guy.
The new American version of TikTok is already under scrutiny after some users accuse the app of suppressing anti-ICE or anti-Trump content. Now, California's governor says he's launching an investigation into the complaints.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is taking aim at the popular social media app, TikTok. Writing on X, "It's time to investigate. I am launching a review into whether TikTok is violating state law by censoring Trump-critical content." The Democrat said some users had complained they were barred from posting the phrase Epstein.
This is going to be American operated all the way.
It comes just days after ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese owner, said it had finalized a deal to set up a majority U.S.-owned joint venture that will secure U.S. data and avoid a ban here in the U.S. But since the announcement, users say they have noticed a change.
You know, TikTok is now censoring our content a lot more.
Do you worry calling everyone defending the Epstein-class pedophiles might weaken the accusation? No, I'm okay with people who defend Epstein being called pedophiles. Honestly, I feel like that's a pretty low bar. Like I know you hate to give it to them, but the conspiracy theorists who are like the world is controlled by like an elite oligarchical class that just want to like kill people and kids, basically. I mean, it's true, because that's all they do. They have the power to do anything in the world. They could be building libraries. They could be building metro systems, works of art. They could be relaxing every day out there by the pool, but they don't. The thing they keep coming back to over and 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 over again is war, killing people, and children. It just keeps going back to that over and over. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's so vocal. What was it that Slavoj Žižek said? Like people speak often of the depravity and the vulgarity of the poor, but when in situations of social conscience, the poor clam up and they express what they see as a dignified behavior. But what is under discussed is the vulgarity of the elite. How the behavior of these ultra oligarchs, these multi-billion-dollar people, when in private, they are acting like the most depraved, the most disgusting people. Locker room talk times 1,000 with women, with children, just like the whatever presumption we have of their decency. This is like a bygone conception. This era is done. There's no longer in the halls of wealth any expectation of dignified behavior, you know? Maybe there used to be. Maybe like 400 years ago when aristocratic courts were summoned, everyone had to be really on guard because they knew that any perceived slight could be blown up into like a slight against another's house, and then there would be consequences and war and so on. But now, absolutely none.
For now.
TikTok USA is broken.
What in the is going on with my FYP?
Over the weekend, TikTok users reported seeing the same videos repeating on their For You page.
Why are humans so obsessed with raping and killing women and children as a biological thing? Dog, what the we're talking about like evil people here. Evil people like those things. And being super wealthy makes you evil. It's Marx. It's material conditions. Why is it that people who are put in the mental torment, why is it that when people are put in the pressure cooker that makes you an evil person, they start to do evil things? I don't get it. Well, all I've done is position them as a god above humanity with infinite power and no self-restraint. They're surrounded by yes men. They can do literally whatever they want. They are not bound by law or morality. Why do these people keep turning out bad? I don't know, man. Maybe divorcing people from the social contract has consequences. I don't know what you... I don't really think this is like a statement on the nature of man. I think it's a statement on the nature of power and the oligarchy.
Some content not displaying, and new posts getting 0 views. Other users also accuse the app of censorship, claiming videos critical of ICE and the recent killing of Alex Preddy was what caused the difficulties to post.
We are posting factual, political information, and they are censoring our content.
I think that chatter was genuinely asking. Yeah, I genuinely answered. That was a genuine answer from me. Anyway, you want to see something really scary? TikTok's new TOS. Terms and services rolled out 4 days ago on the 23rd. Updates to our terms of service and privacy policy. Information you provide may include sensitive personal information as defined under applicable state privacy laws, such as information from users under the relevant age threshold, information you disclose in survey responses or in your user content about your racial or ethnic origin, national origin, religious beliefs, mental or physical health diagnoses, sexual life or sexual orientation, status as transgender or non-binary, citizenship or immigration status, or financial information. For example, we may process your financial information in order to provide you with the goods or services you request from us, or your driver's license number in order to verify your identity. We may also collect your precise location data depending on your settings and explained below. Some of this stuff is old. Obviously, they've been scraping ad data by listening to you talk next to your phone while it's off for ages. Precise location data, that's always been a thing, you know, if you have the app open and ask you for your permission. However, some of this stuff is pretty new. If you have a TikTok account, they are building a profile on you, which they can build based on like not just information you directly provided, but also scrape data, including information like your citizenship status. That's interesting. I wonder where this Larry Ellison run TikTok is going to be giving that information. To advertisers? Maybe, probably, almost certainly. Who else do you think? Gonna plug that right in. The main difference covers AI. The company added a new section to its TOS saying it will collect information from AI interactions, including prompts, questions, files, and other types of info that you submit to our AI-powered interfaces, as well as the responses they generate. Is there a channel that analyzes terms and conditions across apps? I feel like that's going to be crucial. I think that basically every social media page does some version of this. Like even this page right here, which is talking about the differences, is also noting that the profile they build on you is much preserved from the previous iteration of TikTok. Though I maintain that there is a massive difference between this information being collected for like advertising purposes by like ByteDance or whatever versus this profile being built out to immediately send over to ICE, which is, again, what they're going to do. I feel like this article is being a little bit apologetic. TikTokers are alleging the platform is censoring or throttling posts based on politics. It's too early to tell whether these reports are a change in the algorithm or a result of a technical glitch. No, I really don't think that a bunch of Democrat and Trump critical accounts getting throttled and Epstein searches getting immediately like dead-ended. No, I don't think so. This site actually does have a comparison. It says that while Meta does collect these kinds of information under its privacy policy, it does not mention immigration status. So in that respect, at least, they are being more, you are being more surveilled by TikTok. Oh, I was wrong, actually. Extremely wrong. My understanding was that the precise geolocation language was in the prior TikTok TOS. Shows what I know, not a real TikToker. Location tracking in the older version of TikTok was for approximate location based on your IP address. Now it's precise GPS-based tracking. Neat. Yeah, but I know that's not new across the board. It was only the city or district before. Yeah, well, you can turn that off, but, you know, this language is not present in the European version of the PP. It would make sense, though, that there would be some pretty broad differences between the privacy policy in the US and the EU, considering they have different, parentheses, better laws concerning surveillance and ad data sales and stuff. Not the Canadian one either. Oh, so it's not just European. Well, America is terrible, so it makes sense then that we would have the worst version of the privacy policy. So they told everyone it was Chinese spyware, took it over, and now it's spyware. Well, it's always been spyware. Now it's just worse version of spyware. The difference being, though, that before the spyware was only getting, like, the ads that they spied, or the information they're scraping from you with the spyware was just being sold to advertisers, but now it's probably going to go to the Homeland Security investigations team. Like, China can't do anything to you. China is China. They're over there. Why not to China as well? Because we're not in China. If you're an American TikTok user, like, what does China want to do with your data? It's just a private business wanting to scrape information for like, in what way does China benefit from surveilling you directly? What are they going to do? Targetedly strike you? The American government, on the other hand, is extremely capable and willing to use scraped information to justify martial crackdowns. They're doing it very loudly right now. TikTok's not available in China? Well, of course not. That's why they have higher math score performance. American TikTok versus European TikTok. The idea that this is some kind of targeted power outage is insane. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at that. European and American talking to each other. European says Epstein, American says Epstein. You see that? Nope. Drones are being deployed to your location. And they want me to not call these people pedophiles, honestly. Did they really think people wouldn't notice? Are they dumb? Well, as Masaigu has pointed out no less than 17 times in the past 5 minutes, Larry Ellison is an idiot and has a tendency to overcommit to his ideological bias. Remember Barry Weiss and CBS? Larry Ellison runs the Free Press, and now CBS. He put Barry Weiss in charge as a czar, and she's faltering enormously. Yeah, you can come get the hoodie, love, because she's a idiot. I don't understand how the most powerful people in U.S. politics also seem to be very stupid. Because being powerful has nothing to do with being intelligent. There's no correlation at all there, and there never has been. Also, a lot of it isn't necessarily like, a lot of these people live in bubbles, you know? They live in information bubbles. The only people they talk to, the only people they have access to are people who are like yes men, or they affirm their biases. It's not an information environment that suits them. Yeah, little terrariums, exactly. How is Ellison so rich when he keeps driving companies in the ground? What the does being good at running companies have to do with making money? Don't you know how people make money? In order to make money, you simply have money, and then you borrow more money and invest it. If you take a look at Larry Ellison's wealth over time, pretty much at least a significant portion of it comes from his Oracle valuation. It's just financial schemes. It has nothing to do with making anything work. It's literally just Oracle. And the only reason Oracle is making so much money is because it's another one of those deep state AI surveillance companies, you know? Sorry, I forgot the world we live in is fake and we live in the Matrix. Yeah.